everything was just my fault. And as I said before, I wasn't meant to be human. I wasn't meant to live under the roof of any human being. And I said that I was an animal.
You did not accept that you were a pedophile, even though you are a pedophile.
Well, I didn't at the end. It's only here when I came to this country.
That you know that that's the name they give to your pride.
Anyway, fine.
Mindset of these people, this missionary in Africa, was to introduce religion to us. They told us that when we accept a unique human being called Christ, it's going to lead us to heaven, where we are going to walk on gold. By the snap of our fingers, anything we want is going to appear to us within a split of a second. This was what they brought to us. But believe me, religion has done more harm than good to her. Who would have thought that a clergyman of God, a well-renowned man who is being respected in his neighborhood, could do something, a grotesque thing like this to minor girls and boys? Then when you come to educate the masses about these so-called men of God, that they should be wary of them, then somebody somewhere will say, touch not my anointed. Don't speak to a man of God like that. Yes, he is a man of God, but I think that we should also have the mindset. That is why God gave us this brain to think, so that nobody will use the Bible or the Quran to deceive us or convince us into doing something which we don't feel comfortable in doing. Either him being a man of God or a clergyman, that does not justify the fact that a human being should treat somebody else's child in this manner. Sit tight, grab a popcorn, probably a drink, whilst I tell you about a pastor, a clergyman, a renowned and respected man in the society called Michael Olaunbi. This is going to be a bumpy one. Michael Olaunbi was born and bred in Nigeria. He is a chemist and a clergy respected man of God in the society. He is married to a woman called Juliana Olaunbi. Mr. Michael was ordained a prophet in the Cherubim and Seraphim Church in Nigeria, where he served for 10 years and finally relocating to the UK with his wife. Mr. Michael got into the UK in the late 80s and he quickly joined the Cherubim and Seraphim Church in the UK in Edmonton, where he served as a leader there as well. After serving several years at Edmonton, he decided to leave the church and establish his own church at a place called Hartsworth. Mr. Michael didn't leave alone. Other pastors and other leaders also left. But these people kept communication with the main branch, which is the Cherubim and Seraphim Church in the UK. They kept communicating with them. But Mr. Michael, on the other hand, decided to establish his own church and also to establish his own teachings. He didn't go by the mother church, the Cherubim and Seraphim Church, where they brought him up and they installed those teachings in him. He left all of that and decided to bring his own kind of teachings. His church grew in a slower pace, but fortunately for him, he was able to get about 50 members and their children. Mr. Michael did his church at his lower base of his apartment. He was this feared and respected man of God. On Sundays, he was being seen as an angel, a direct descendant of God. He was being seen as this holy man. But beyond all of this facade, pretense to be this renowned, genuine man of God, there lived a demon deep inside this man who had things for little girls, minor children, underaged children. After every church service, Mr. Michael engaged these minors into what he calls the holy bath. He claims the bath is to cleanse them off, to make these kids get rid of any demon that is in them and also improve their grades in school. The assistant of his wife, Madam Juliana, where they will engage in this holy cleansing, Mr. Michael touched, cleansed, maltreated, manipulated these kids, touched them where they were not to be touched. All in the name of holy bath, all in the name of the Bible. When Mr. Michael is done with this bath, he will then direct these kids to his bedroom. With the assistance of the wife, then he will rape them anyhow. This continued for years. That was his modus operandi. And the parents of these kids were not aware of anything. They saw him to be this man of God, this genuine man of God, this angel sent from above, this respected, highly respected pharmacist. They carried this kind of act for years. In his count, he had molested about 10 female minors and one minor who is a boy. He carried this act for 22 years. Over the years of Mr. Michael engaging in this kind of unholy acts with these kids, most of the girls get pregnant Then Mr. Michael himself, I told you earlier that he was a renowned chemist, he was a pharmacist. What he did was he would either terminate the pregnancy for them themselves, or he would ask his wife to take the kids to a place to go get it terminated under a different disguise, under a different name. This continued for years. He would get them pregnant, then he would terminate it for them. Then that was his mood, that was the way of operating. He would get them pregnant, terminate it for them, test service, take them, cleanse them, bath them without their parents knowing. So one day, one of these kids, when he went to terminate the pregnancy for the kid, when the kid got home, the kid felt unusual down there. There was so much blood oozing. Then the parent had to sit this kid down, convince this kid before this kid was able to say that it is Mr. Michael, their pastor, who was doing this kind of stuff to them. And it wasn't, and she complained that it wasn't only her, that there were more other people that Mr. Michael has done this to. So they quickly rushed to Mr. Michael's face with a camera and recorded him while he confessed. When Mr. Michael knew the cat was out of the bag, he needed a way to escape from the UK. So the fact that very day, he packed his thing and headed to the airport where he was about to board a flight to Nigeria, when the authorities grabbed him there and they sent him to the police station to be further processed for court. I'm just wondering, let's say Mr. Michael had gotten away and came to Nigeria. I don't think this man will stop. He's going to open the same church in Nigeria and continue this kind of act. That is the same case that happened with Afiba and her friend, with this Mr. Andrew, who left the UK, who was a fugitive in the UK and came to Nigeria and continued the same act which he was being wanted for in the UK. So I don't think Mr. Michael would have stopped. He would have continued the same act because that is, he gets some kind of euphoria, he gets some kind of great feeling by doing this to minor kids, minor girls and minor boys. I don't think he would have stopped. Michael was then processed to court to 34 years imprisonment, added to his 64 years of age already. I don't think he would even last more than 10 years in the prison. And whilst his wife was given 11 years for aiding and abetting rape, and Mr. Michael was charged with offense of sexual abuse, illegal administration of pills, and false pretense. This is where I bring you to the end of my story. See you in my next episode. Do please like, share, and comment on this video whilst I bring you more interesting videos like this. All I need to let all of you know, the moral of this lesson is to not trust anyone. I keep saying this. Do not trust anyone. Do not entrust anyone. Not your kid. Don't even give your kids. Don't trust your kid with any pastor, any man of God, any reverend, any archbishop, because they were men before they became the men of God. So they still have the manly instinct in them. Please, let's learn from this video and protect our kids. Thank you. Share, like, and comment.